Hi, everybody. I'm Squigglemom for Soy Sue, and I'm here today sharing with you what the pre-apprenticeship program of our summer 2023 looks like for Makersville Services, and it is supported by Makersville, which I run. I will share with you a PowerPoint that I created, and I am going to digitally edit this to insert some elements of video and pictures that I created. So first of all, let me get to the PowerPoint and share this with you. I'm doing this because it is a fairly complex concept or program or project or summer that we're creating here. And we're calling it a pre-apprenticeship because we actually hope that the kids, the students, the participants, and when I say kids, I don't mean 6-year-olds. I actually mean high schoolers and up. We hope that they will actually leverage the opportunity to learn, which is what we're doing. We're providing opportunities to learn. And it's a pre-apprenticeship because there is an opportunity for them to create some income through it, but it has to meet certain requirements according to some grants that we've sourced. Here we go. There are 4 different types of opportunities. Each one has a fair amount of depth to it, but I've thought about it, and this is how I want to present it. We have projects. They learn through our projects and earn street creds. What do I mean by street creds? If they're an artist, we publish their drawings or we figure out how to. If they're a writer, we give them the opportunity to write in our publications that we have planned. If they're a Lego builder, we guide their building so that we can showcase it at different conventions. And if they want to study electronics and robotics, we create opportunities for videos that can be made that showcase their projects. So street cred. They have the opportunity to earn income through a project called Teens Teach Tech and events that they plan and host. That's a big pocket all in itself, and I might do a separate video on each of these. We have honed in on the digital Zoom navigator. So we're looking at the gray block now, bubble. And a digital Zoom navigator to us is someone who has some expertise in Zoom, can teach about the basic use of Zoom, as well as some things that people who run meetings and seminars would like to have access to, but don't really want to spend the time learning all these details. So this is actually a skill that we can anticipate using going forward. Again, we don't have a funded plan, but we do have an idea of making these international and multinational collaborations, and that will need people to manage the international audiences. So we are focusing on Zoom navigation. So you learn, and I'm not teaching you, you're going to look it up, learn how to live stream to Facebook, live stream to YouTube from the Zoom session. What are the parameters for Zoom as a business needing some guidance in using Zoom? What does it offer? So you become an expert in using Zoom. If I want to host a seminar or to have chat supported and things like that. Then you will learn to plan and host events. We've got some planned, and participate in local comic book and Lego themed conventions, and we have some identified. The opportunity and the title is for incoming 9th through outgoing 12th, and that is specifically designed because of the income through Teens Teach Tech opportunity, because it's for high schoolers. Blue bubble, opportunities, number 1. Learn through our projects and earn street creds. I have projects. And I want to tell you, there are many. I have been told I should narrow it down to 3. So what I have done is narrow it down to 4. I tried really hard, but I had to include the 4th one. These are my high priority project topics, and there are many low priority project topics. I want to tell you about those later. Ha! The Rubinator. The Rubinator is my invention. It is about Rube Goldberg skills learning, how to create contraptions to enter the Rube Goldberg competition. I have a book I'm writing, and I need illustrators. This illustrator on the top left was done by me, but certainly I could use some help. And what am I trying to accomplish out of this? Well, I personally need to write a book. I want to give you the opportunity to be included in writing my book. And at the same time, give you a way to leverage the Teens Teach Tech. Okay. I'm going to show you a little bit about my Rube Goldberg experiences and what we're doing. The hummingbird bit. Ooh, hummingbird bit, not big. Finch and the microbit. These are all based on the microbit electronics component. It's a microcontroller. And I have a history of interest in robotics, but it has not been very focused because largely I have instructed and supported teams using Lego robotics, which is in a bit of turmoil because there's been a substantial change from the EV3. And I have decided that for a number of reasons, because I actually do support educators in some ways, and there's a teacher that I'm supporting that is using the hummingbird bit and hummingbird bit. And then we tapped into the hummingbird finch, which there's an offering that the manufacturers, the East Coast based US manufacturers have created, and I don't know if it's still available, but when last year, I think it was last year, we got the opportunity to try out these finches and they let us keep it for a while longer. We're going to pay for them, and I'll tell you how. So right now they're on loan. And then the concept we have for everything we do, not just with the hummingbird, but is learn, share, teach. And we actually have an extended goal of doing it in Spanish, Khmer, and Tagalog, because these are the languages of the city of Long Beach. Do I know Spanish, Khmer, and Tagalog? No. I know that there are many people here in Long Beach that speak it, so I'm confident that we can do it. And I have done video projects with international languages before, at least one. I have a goal of a book about the Pacific Electric Red Car. This is a very selfish goal. This picture was taken over on Electric Avenue in Seal Beach. And this is, if you didn't know, this is a picture of a cargo car that ran on the red lines. But I'm going to, during the summer, find ways to tie in my nephew's visit to California with some exploration, further exploration on the red car and the old Pacific Electric trains, because this ties directly to another project that I had last year and which still is continuing to create a comic book about the Long Beach Pike. And the 4th is to create Lego projects and a booklet of activities that involve Lego, because I started a day in 2015. And in next year, in 2024, it will become the 10th anniversary of 2x4 Day, a fan-created global day of Lego brick play, and I am that fan. So I plan on having an event, and I'm just trying to leverage the opportunity of the event to create a learning opportunity where we learn to share and teach. And the teaching is going into a book, hopefully, or videos or whatever, in whatever languages we choose. It's a very open-ended summer. You pick your interest. If you have other interests, I have other projects. And if they're not in my projects, then we can discuss how we might advance that. That's what a Makerspace does, help you advance your projects. But sometimes you need a project to get started, somebody else's project. So Hummingbird Bit, Finch, and Microbit. This is very open-ended. There are lots of videos out there about the Hummingbird, Finch, Bit, and Microbit. And then you can choose which one of these you want to do. I have a guide who will help us. His name is Thomas Messerschmidt, and he is going to help us to develop projects, and he will host some sessions in the summer. The Pacific Electric Red Car. Wow, this is so awesome. We've got a book I've started writing already. We're going to visit local places that provide clues about the Pacific Electric Red Car. There are so many around us, you wouldn't believe it. In Bellflower, in Long Beach, even just with the name, the Red Car Greenbelt in Belmont Heights, and Electric Avenue, where the picture was taken. I want you to make podcasts and videos. We have a channel, or you can make it for your channel. Take photographs, write something about your experience. So we're going to gather little dots, and then we're going to put them together. You can make a model in Lego. You can develop a presentation. You can share what you learned at this event we're creating in October 7th. Lego models, activity book, and events. Starting with the book we created some years ago, which was, I think that book was created in 2015, maybe 2016. We're going to add on, we're going to subtract, we're going to learn how to use we're going to learn how to use Lego Studio and create models. And then we're going to support local Lego inclusive events. And these are in Long Beach. And they're a Lego fan event and a comic book event. And then October 7th, the event we created. And then you get to share your projects, what you've learned. Hopefully we'll publish something by then. There are other projects. I've decided I want to make one of the rooms in our studio at Shoreline Village a Maker Museum or a museum. The reason is because these old places, these old amusement zones, the word museum on a wooden carved frame works well for these old places. It might adjust by the time we get to the end point, or it might change over time. We have a freeways and bridges project in Lego. We have a kit designer, a couple of kit designers, set designers that are working on this, which is an interchange, a historic interchange in Los Angeles. And also there is the Gerald Desmond Bridge and Lego project in a microbuild. And then I have an elderly fellow who has developed a sand wheelchair. This is his rickshaw styled wheelchair, and we are going to be helping him to document it. Those are just some of the other projects, but I'm just giving you a flavor of some of the things you can do. Opportunity 2, earn income through Teens Teach Tech and events you plan and host. What are the things you have to do? Make a plan, learn something that you're going to teach it, figure out your audience, gather your audience and teach it. And then you earn money for each adult you teach that completes an easy survey. We're looking at, for each adult you teach that completes the survey, the teens in our pre-internship can earn some funds up to $900, but actually I think that has been waived recently, so you can earn more. There's no limit to what you can earn, is my understanding. And there's actually a competition to see who can earn the most. And it's $9 for each adult you teach, and then helping to connect you to audiences through the creation of events. So here's what you have to do for Teens Teach Tech. You learn basic Zoom navigation skills, really basic. Teach people how to use Zoom. Plan your presentation to adults 18 and over, and then make a flyer or video to advertise the event, and you host the event. And then the optional part, because that part of gathering the adults is sometimes hard, you can extend your Zoom expertise to support events. So I'll come back to those events later. Opportunity 3 is to gain experience as a digital Zoom navigator, very closely related to opportunity 2, but you can do opportunity 3 and not do opportunity 2. But why would you? How do we combine our project sharing meetings and our Zoom instruction meeting? This blue circle or oval. I have this space in Shoreline Village, and I've been trying to open it up. I will tell you, it is really hard because to be open, I have to have 2 adults on site. They have to be background checked and trained, and that costs money, right? And so also, so we manage it very closely. We've been finding grants so that we can keep it open and just offer it for certain small periods of time. But this Connected Nation, Teams Teach Tech, gives us the opportunity to be open a lot more. If we can make things happen, if we can gather teams and find adult support, and they are motivated to get their adults to come into this space. So this is what I've decided. When pre-apprentices are on site and working on their Teams Teach Tech goal, adults who take the training can be admitted for free for their party of up to 4 for 1 hour. Neighbors and relatives are expected to be invited by the pre-apprentices. It's free. All they have to do is show up, and then they get to be part of our fun Rubinator Lego brick space. And and sewing, toy making, because we do toy making too. And then we're hoping that the pre-apprentices will hedge their bets and focus their time on a single week. So maybe they take mornings of the first week of summer or afternoons of the first week of summer, and so on. So that way we can make sure people have time slots, and then weekends will be as they choose to also support. Teams are 2, so it's not a solo thing for Teams Teach Tech. It's 2 teams in a team, and you can come and get started and keep going. We already have some digital events planned on the right here, and you can support the digital events. You would actually be supporting it as, say, a chat manager or a community manager for the event, helping to get the word out about the event. And I believe that most of those are free. And then you can plan your own digital or in-person events. Opportunity 4. Learn to plan and host events and participate in local comic book and Lego themed conventions and events. So here are all these events. Some of these events are after August 31st, but this is sort of the schedule. The schedule can start as early as June 15th, but we need the teams to commit before we will commit our time, because once the teams commit, I can tell the people who will support the teams, and I have to have 2 adults on site who are trained and background checked for each team if we have a single team in the space, right? So consider that this is a fair amount of coordination that I have to do. So we have some microbit meetings that will be supported by Thomas on the 2nd Saturdays. The Rubinator series that will be supported by Paula and Elena on the 3rd Saturdays. What I call practical microfactory, which is us trying to adjust the way we think about production so that we will, starting with bunnies, because I make bunnies, we will do practical microfactory on the 2nd Saturdays. And we have on the 2nd Saturdays in the morning, supply chain management for makers. What is that exactly? Well, makers usually do one thing, right? People who cater to makers are catering to people who are making one thing. So there are all kinds of different issues that you can hit when you do supply chain management for makers. And it helps us to take the maker of one thing, consider what happens if I decide to do 10? How does my ordering change? How does my planning change? How does my funds management change? How can I manage my income versus output? And there's a Brickfest Live is a local Lego competition, local Lego event that's happening here in Long Beach in July, and the Long Beach Comic-Con. This is after the series, so you won't get credits in the August series, but I actually will expect to be doing a second cohort of pre-apprenticeships in the fall. And then Tuesdays, Wednesday, Thursday, schedule and promote meetings. And then we're also going to do that in August because the Teens Teach Tech has changed its goal. And then we're going to do awards at a celebration. You get to share what you've done on October 7th. So that's pretty much it, I think. Yep, this is the Rubinator Inventions. That's it, guys. I just wanted to share with you what our summer program was like. And thanks for listening. I'm going to go take some videos on my living room table and see you in the summer.